I'm Nate. I'm 14 and I've taken the organ for 6 years and piano lessons for almost 11. I have this list of questions that you guys sent me, so I'm just going to get started going down. So, why do I have to wear special shoes? So, organ shoes have a softer bottom, just so that, and that we especially keep clean, just so that the pedals don't get dirty and grimy. And also it has a taller heel on it, and that makes it easier to go from black keys to white keys from toe to heel. Since there is treble and bass clef for piano, do the pedals you play with your feet have a different clef? No, they don't. The pedals are bass clef also. The interesting thing about the pedal keyboard is that it's written as if this up here is middle C instead of the C that's actually in the middle of the keyboard. Alright, what are the knobs for? Do they make the pipes change length so that they change key? So the knobs on a normal organ are replaced by these on this organ, and they're called stops. So each stop controls a sound. So if I open like that stop, that's an 8-foot string pipe. The 8-foot means that this sounds as is the same pitch as middle C on a piano. If I used a 4-foot string, then this is the same as middle C because the middle C pipe is shorter than if I use the 8-foot. So all of the stops control different sounds of the organ. And they do not make the pipes change lengths. Each stop opens up valves so that there's a pipe per key per stop. Do you have to remember or learn 4 different parts to play, both hands and both feet? In general, I would say no. You have to learn a part for each hand, and then the feet are both written on one line of music, so that it really feels more like you're working 3 lines of music when you play. So this is what the actual music looks like. You've got the right hand, the left hand, and then the pedal line. And then a lot of pieces, the pedal line doesn't actually play very often. And then all of a sudden you get a couple of notes just towards the end or in different sections. Let's see. Can you play all the pipes at one time, or can you only use a certain number of pipes per piece? I can open up as many stops as I want. So I'm just going to keep going here. And then the more stops I open, the louder it's going to get. Back to the question though, I can't necessarily use all the pipes because there is like a pipe per key. So if I open this stop here, I can play one pipe per note, but I can't play all of the pipes at once. If the pipes are bigger, does that mean they will be louder and not just deeper? So if we're talking the height of a pipe, then it will change. It will make it deeper, but it won't make it. If a pipe is longer, it won't make it deep. It will make it deeper, but it won't make it louder. And then the diameter of the pipe controls its timbre or the fullness of the note. But it won't change the volume necessarily. Are the organs people play today the same type of organ Bach would have composed his music on? Sometimes. This organ is not. What we call the organ console, which is everything you see around me, is electric on this organ, which is why I'm able to have stops like these. On a what we call a tracker organ or a non-electric organ, you'd have stops like that you pull out. And there are also electric organs and digital organs that will use the pull out stops. When I say electric organs, I mean that as in this is an electric organ. So this is a pipe organ still. You can see all the pipes are inside of that big box right there. But the console itself is electric. A digital organ is where it is entirely electric. Everything is electric, and so when you play a note, it's playing a pre-recorded sound of an actual organ.
So Bach would have played on a tracker
yes,
organ.
Bach would have played on a tracker organ.
And when you pull the stop
where
out,
you pull the stop out, it physically opens a valve, and then when you play a key, it also physically opens a second valve that actually lets the air go through the pipe, which is what produces the sound. Do you have to tune the pipes on a pipe organ? You do. So there are some wooden pipes and some metal pipes. I actually own a wooden pipe, but I don't actually know how to tune this. But so this is a flute, and then I think all of the other pipe sounds are metal cylinders, like you normally think of an organ pipe. But to tune a metal pipe, there is, so if this is the top of the pipe, then there's a little sleeve that goes around it, and then that slides up or down and adjusts the pitch, and that's how you tune it. And the humidity in the room or the air temperature can change the pitch a little bit.
or dust.
Or dust. So then you have to tune it to make it sound correct again. Do you ever play the organ with your feet and not with your hands too? Most of the time, no. I don't know that I've ever seen or heard a piece that's just the pedal. But there are sometimes sections inside of pieces where there's only pedal playing and not the hands. But it almost never lasts for very long. And so most of the time, no, the pedal is just working with the hands, providing a deeper bass sound. Why does the organ make such a different sound than the piano? Is it just because of the pipes? The easy answer is yes. Each pipe, each type of pipe can make a different sound. So this 8-foot gedeckt here is a flute sound. But I also have a string, a viola, and then a 4-foot flute and a 4-foot string. And you can see the numbers down here tell you what it is. And then this one's interesting. And the feet refer to middle C. So an 8-foot flute, the middle C is 8 foot. This is an interesting stop. It is middle C, or is 2 2/3 feet long. So actually, the middle C sounds like a G. See, that's the same sound. And then a 2-foot flute, which So this is actually the middle C tone, and then this is, and then it's just higher up here. Now I have a 8-foot trumpet. This is a much louder stop, and a 4-foot trumpet. So, and that's, so all of the stops in right here, control this keyboard. So if I open this stop, it won't make this keyboard work, or the pedal. But it will make this keyboard work. Over here we have the stops for the lower keyboard, which is called the grave, and this one's called the swell. So if I open that, it will play on this keyboard, not on the others, and then these do the pedal. So yes, the pipes are what make the sound different on the organ, because those are what produce the tone, and you can have all sorts of different tones.
And a piano is percussive?
And a piano is, a piano also has a different touch. So I'll get into this later, but so on an organ, no matter how hard I touch it, it always plays the same. And a piano is different from that.
Can you blow the pipe?
I can blow the pipe. So it's not quite in tune, but that is, I was playing with this earlier. Let's see up there. So what were we talking about? So yeah, the pipes make the difference. And next is the organ a lot harder to play than the piano. So like I was talking about, the technique is really different. On a piano, you have to change your touch for how loud you want it to be, or for the tonal quality of the note. But on an organ, it's going to sound the same no matter how hard I play it. And and that's because the air is always going to be going through the pipe at a constant power, at a constant stream when I open the valve. But then it's also, the pedal that you have to add in a pedal, and you have to figure out how to get your feet working and your hands at the same time sometimes. And so sometimes it's harder, but it really depends on a piece. Does the organ have a damper and a sustain pedal? The organ is not. It doesn't really need a sustain pedal, because if I hold down a note, it's just going to keep playing forever. Because the air is being pumped through the pipe, and there's nothing to make it stop sounding. The pedals that the organ has outside of the normal foot pedals, these two big ones right here, this one is what we call an expression pedal. So as I open it and close it, you can hear kind of thumping out there. So what it's actually doing is, the swell keyboard, the top keyboard, is inside of a little chamber that has little doors, all like that in front of it. And then when you open this pedal, these actually turn open like that, and then closed again when I close the pedal. And that changes the amount, that changes the volume that you can hear coming out of the chamber. And then the other pedal is what we call the crescendo pedal. And what this does is, depending on how far you open it, you can open up a lot of stops at once, instead of having to go, this one, that one. You can just go, and then you've got a loud sound already. Let's see. What are the different keyboards for? You can have different sounds for different pieces. So if I wanted to have, nice soft sound up here, and a big loud sound down here, I can do that. Because I have two different keyboards, and different keyboards have this, and I can put different sounds in the different keyboards. Alright, how do you make an organ play quietly? It seems like it can only play forte. So, this organ is not the best for this demonstration because we're right next to the pipes. But really, what you do is you just open fewer stops. So, that's one of the quieter stops that this organ has. It's an 8-foot string, and it's quieter than a trumpet would be. Other than that, we have the expression pedal like I was talking about, and that you can open and close to make that quieter. Do I have to go somewhere to take lessons? I do have to go somewhere to take lessons. I go to a Catholic cathedral, where they have a really nice tracker organ, which is the kind that is not electric at all. And I do not have an organ at home. I wish I did. Maybe someday.
But it probably would not have pipes at home.
Yes, it would not have pipes at home, almost certainly. When and how did I discover the organ as an instrument that I wanted to pursue? Did I start with a different instrument before playing the organ? I always wanted to play the organ. After church on Sundays, I would go up next to the front of the sanctuary and wait until the organist finished the postlude. Then I would go up and talk to him and the organ. I did actually start with piano before I started with organ, but really organ is my instrument. Do I have a goal or achievement I'm aspiring towards as a musician? I want to be able to play for church, but really that's all. I don't think I need to go further than that. How long have I been playing? I said earlier, I've been playing the organ for 6 years and the piano for almost 11. Do I play the organ at church? I have done a couple of preludes or postludes, but no, I do not play the organ for church. Who is my favorite musician? No question, it's Bach. And why do I think the organ has fallen out of popularity as an instrument to glorify God? Is it a matter of expense, or do I think it's just because that tradition has fallen out of fashion? I think it's because it's an old-fashioned instrument and people don't want to be old-fashioned. And so there just aren't a lot of organists anymore, which means that people don't get to play the organ. And so we don't use it as much. And also people now enjoy, the rock and roll bands, and synthesizers and drum kits and all that stuff. But, yeah. Alright.
So,
Thanks, guys.